We have recording. Lovely. So welcome to you all. It's so lovely to see you. And I'm really excited to share more information about these incredible plant compounds that I know a lot of you have already experienced in one way or another, maybe when working with me or perhaps at a recent event. But we're going to go a lot deeper into how these work synergistically with the body at a cellular level, and also the magical properties of them as well, of which there are many. And also I'm going to be talking through how you can support everyday health, but also help support some chronic illnesses as well through the power of these plant compounds. So I'll share my screen now. Here we go. Okay, I'm just going to move these up here. So I think everyone see okay. There we go. Right, so we're going to be talking about doTERRA oils. Now, I know that there are a lot of different oils on the market, but you're going to understand after today's session why these are so very different. Before I begin, I'm just going to give you a little bit of background information about why I do what I do. I started my wellness business 10 years ago. I can hardly believe it now, to be honest with you. The years have flown by. But in that time, I've witnessed the evolution of a booming industry. It's saturated with ever-changing fad diets, latest trend workouts, gimmicky, overpriced exercise equipment that we really don't need. A lot of overwhelming, contradicting information, complicated tech accessories, which if you're anything like me, I struggle to even understand how to use them. And a lot of overly processed foods that can be labeled as health foods when in fact they're not, plus a lot more. And yet, even though we have access to all of these things that we're told are going to help improve our health and well-being, the number of people suffering with chronic illness, high blood pressure, obesity, diabetes, allergies, they have continued to rise year on year. And they're expected to continue to rise by over 37% over the coming 10 to 15 years, which is an incredible increase. Now, years of consuming highly processed and often nutritionally depleted foods daily, and also exposure to chemicals and toxins, we actually come into contact with over 1,500 new chemicals and toxins every year. That can disrupt the body's natural balance, and also coupled with high levels of stress and also addictions to tech and screen time as well, which I think we all understand nowadays with everything being online. We love technology. It's why we're here coming together tonight. But at times, obviously, it can wreak havoc on our health as well. And all of these things have left people reaching for quick fixes, and also a lot of pharmaceutical solutions on an almost daily basis in a desperate need to actually just feel better. Now, we've begun to almost accept health issues and poor lifestyle choices as the norm, and we've massively overcomplicated what we actually need to do to address them. So, my purpose, the reason why I get out of bed every morning and I have the energy to do what I do, is actually my desire to help people understand that the path to wellness is actually very simple. And a lot of the time we actually need to do less rather than doing more, which when you're a really busy working mom, and you have your own business, or you have a professional career, or you have a big family to look after, we don't want extra things to put on our to-do list. And I totally understand that. But the good news is that actually less is often more. So what I want to do today is show you some really simple tools and techniques that you can access, and in fact everyone can access, to help them to feel good. And that's every single day. I think we're very fortunate in the UK to have an incredible NHS. If we're in an emergency, life-threatening situation, we can have access to the most incredible care. And our doctors and our nurses and our surgeons work so hard. But actually, the best way that we can show our support is by taking back control of our everyday health and well-being, to take some of the pressure off the NHS, so that they have more time to deal with those really life-threatening situations, and we can feel more empowered to actually look after our own health in a very simple way in our own homes, and also to obviously create a healthier body and mind as well. So without the need to buy hundreds of supplements, you'll be glad to know. And also without the need to buy tons of different healthcare products and lots of different solutions and subscriptions. It just simply isn't necessary. Now, I've been using doTERRA oils now for nearly 10 years, and I have so many of these beautiful oils. This is just one of many boxes that I have, and I absolutely love them. And I use them every single day. And I'm going to be sharing my knowledge with you now as we go through this evening as to how you can also use these bioactive plant compounds as part of your daily routine and to support your health, and by giving your body the helping hand that it needs to be well from the inside out, and to actually help heal itself, not just simply treating symptoms, but really addressing underlying root causes. Okay, so doTERRA, the Latin for this name, means gifts of the earth, which I think is just absolutely beautiful and is so apt for these incredible oils. Now, most people haven't actually heard of doTERRA, even though they are the largest oil company in the world. They have over 3 million customers worldwide. And the moment that you open a bottle of their oil, you can literally feel and smell the difference. Now, for some of you that have already experienced this, you'll understand what I mean. For those of you that haven't yet, obviously, I'll be sending you your free oil at the end of the session. So I know many of you will have used and come into contact with essential oils before, but these really are so much more powerful and potent, and they are not the same as other oils on the market. These are 100% pure and natural. And I know that a lot of you will say, but I'm sure the one on my shelf already, if you have any, is the same. It may be, but we can't necessarily guarantee that because the industry isn't as regulated as it should be. Now, doTERRA have created a benchmark that other companies have yet to follow, even though they've been doing it now for a long time. They have third-party rigorous testing, not just of random oils, but of every single batch of oils that they produce. And therefore, it's called the CPTG, the Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. And it's very strict testing, and it makes sure that every single batch of oils is incredibly pure, 100% pure, and it has no heavy metals, no pesticides, and no fillers. Now, doTERRA are the only oils that are considered food grade, not all of them, But some of you that have come to my cookery workshops or are booked on to come to my cookery workshops will discover these in more detail on those. So we have things like lemon oil and wild orange oil and lime and peppermint. These are food grade, which means you can actually take them internally, which obviously you cannot do with any other oils on the market. But it's only because of this rigorous testing that you can do so with doTERRA. There's actually a number on the bottom of every single bottle, and you can type that into a website, a doTERRA website, and it will tell you all the testing that has been done on that particular batch of oils. You can go into pharmacies, you can go into shops, and you can buy essential oils that say they are 100% pure. Now, they may be, I'm not going to say all of them aren't, but I have yet to find any that are as pure as doTERRA. And I have tried a lot of other companies over the years. Now, a lot of the time, the essential oil that you get might be pure that they've put in it, but what happens is they obviously dilute it down. Now, that's fine, because actually, if you're going to use something topically, you can apply a carrier oil, and sometimes it is absolutely advisable that you do so. Can help to actually increase the effectiveness of the oil that you're using. But obviously, if you're using it for food grade or internal use, it has to be 100% pure with nothing else added. And that's where doTERRA are very different. If you think that any oils that we use, they get into the body, even if we use them topically, and they will get into your bloodstream, and they will work synergistically with the body and your cells, which I'll talk about in a little more detail shortly. So you really do want to be using a very pure grade oil. And obviously, if it contains any pesticides or fillers or chemicals, there's nothing stopping those actually going into the body and the cells as well as the oil. Let's talk through now what an essential oil actually is. Now, it's the natural aromatic compound from plants. So it's in essence the immune system of the plant. So, for example, with lavender, the immune system is actually found in the purple flower, in the buds at the top. Now, there's also a sac inside of it, and that's how the plant protects itself. So depending on which plant we're talking about, we will take that compound from different elements or different parts of the plant. So it might come from the stem, or it might come from the leaves or from the seeds. And actually what's really fascinating is you can have one plant that can actually give you an array of different compounds. So for example, the orange tree, they will use the rind of the fruit, and that will give you an orange oil. They will then use another part of it, which is the leaves. I believe it's the leaves where you get the neroli, and then they will also use the stems where you will get the absolute. So you'll get different compositions and different compounds from different elements of that plant. So because we're working with the plant's own defense mechanism, that's why the compounds in the oil that we extract are so powerful. It's protected the plant enough for it to be able to grow into full health. And what we're doing is essentially using those compounds to then support our health. We usually either steam distill our essential oils or cold press extraction, which would be for the citrus oils, so your sweet orange, or your wild orange, or your limes and your lemons. They are a safe, powerful, and natural alternative to a lot of medicines. Just to caveat here, if you are on any medications, I am not for 1 minute saying stop them straight away. Don't speak to your doctor and take these instead. You obviously need to get correct guidance and support for any medication that you are on. And I am also very happy to give you support as to which oils are safe to take with which medical medications, because there can be some contraindications, because these are powerful. They're natural, but they are powerful. So please always bear that in mind and show respect to these oils. But they are an incredible natural alternative for everyday health and well-being. And they are also so powerful that they can help with a lot of chronic illnesses as well. So if we're unwell, we can often be suffering from a virus, and viruses live in our cells. Now, standard Western medicine is mainly water-based, and our cells are fat-based. So water-based medicine can't pass through the cell walls and therefore can't actively kill the viruses. So when we go and we get told it's a virus, there's obviously very little that can be done for us in terms of medication. If we have an infection, then obviously it would be antibiotics. So if we have bacterial infection and we get given antibiotics, it obviously is very beneficial, but then taking the antibiotics can help kill the good bacteria, which is what we want to thrive. And also on top of that, we then have the worry about oversubscribing antibiotics, and we can create resistance. And also 80% of our immune system is contained within the gut. And so taking a lot of meds and a lot of antibiotics can disrupt the gut microbiome, which in turn obviously affects our immune system. And it's just this vicious circle, and you can just keep going round and round in circles. So this is why essential oils are so exciting, because they have fine, tiny compounds, very small molecules, and because they're fat-based, essential oils have been clinically proven to be able to cross cell walls and penetrate and kill viruses as well as bacteria. Now, doTERRA are a science-based company, and there is a lot of evidence-based resources and even PubMeds that stack up what I'm talking about and substantiate what I'm sharing with you tonight. So if there is anything in particular you'd like more information on from a science perspective, please let me know and I can send more information over. I don't like to go too much into the science because there's so much else to talk about. But I hope it gives you a really good base understanding of why these oils are very exciting and why they are so powerful and effective. But obviously essential oils are nothing new. We have been using these since the beginning of time. There was less interest in them since the introduction of pharmaceutical medicines, but obviously people are now waking up to the need for more natural alternatives and to find a way to support our health in a proactive rather than a reactive way, which is why we're now seeing a surge in the use of essential oils. But that is also down to the amazing work that doTERRA themselves are doing with the group of over 30 scientists that they actually have based in the company. They are the largest essential oils company in the world, as I said. They are debt-free. They don't owe any money or have any stakeholders or shareholders to answer to. Nobody telling them what direction they should go in. Instead, they listen to the growers, the doctors, the scientists, the physicians, the wellness advocates such as myself, the midwives, doctors, healers, yoga teachers who are also Wellness doTERRA advocates, and of course, the customers. They source their oils from small communities all around the world, paying a fair price for their materials and work to build a stronger community and giving back through initiatives such as providing freshwater supplies to the area that vetiver is grown and sourced, and also the charity Days for Girls, which is a charity that helps girls around the world to feel proud of their bodies and provide them with reusable sanitary pads for them to use instead of having to rely on ripped up bits of clothing and materials instead. Days for Girls have helped over 1.5 million girls worldwide, which is just amazing. And they're sourced2you.com if you want to look it up. This is their co-impact sourcing. They source from around the world to ensure that the plant is grown in its native location. And this is really, really important because that makes it stronger and more vibrant, and therefore gives you a far more superior quality of oil. So for example, lemons from Sicily, frankincense from Oman, lavender from French Alps and Bulgaria. And this is the doTERRA model, purity and potency. And this is why these oils are very different. Now, we have a cost-effective solution here, and I know at the moment costs are rising and people are very aware of what they need to spend their money on. But the good news is that essential oils are 50 to 70% stronger than herbs, so they're really, really potent and powerful. Also, most of the time, because of this fact, you only need literally 1 drop. So a 15 ml bottle, which is this size, and then you have a 5 ml bottle, which is this size, that contains around 250 drops in 1 bottle. That's the 15 ml. And 1 drop of peppermint oil, for example, is the equivalent to over 28 cups of peppermint tea. That is how strong it is, and that is just 1 drop. So we obviously must respect them, which I talked about earlier. And that's why doTERRA really focus on education and to help people to learn how to use the oils effectively and safely and get the full benefits from them in multiple ways. They are very cost effective. The price per drop can in most cases be cheaper than a pharmaceutical alternative, especially given the rising costs of prescription medication nowadays as well. So for example, a headache, 1 drop of peppermint oil will cost you around maybe 9p, whereas an alternative pill may well cost you double this. Plus, you won't even need to go to the shop to buy it because you'll already have it in your Nature's Solutions toolkit. And using the oils from a proactive place means that our wellness improves over time because our body is able to come back into balance because we're using nature, not pharmaceuticals, which means that we have less downtime with illness, less time trying to negotiate work and kids while we're not feeling our optimum, and obviously also having to miss work. If you run your own business as I do, you know, work is really important for paying the bills, and you don't want to be having time off because you're unwell. Now, I like to call it ancient wisdom for today's health. We are going to cover this in a little bit more detail, but I promised that if you came and joined me this evening, I would tell you some of the ways in which you can support some of these chronic illnesses, some of these day-to-day and monthly challenges that a lot of people can struggle with in their day-to-day lives. Now, we know that essential oils have been around for thousands of years, and they've been used over this time to support physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being since ancient times. Now, thanks to the evolution of science, we're now able to back up those ancient practices with modern day statistics and clinical trials. And that's what's helping people to suddenly realize the real benefits of these oils. So here are just some of the findings for some of the most common illnesses and health challenges. So for insomnia, which has become a real pandemic in recent times, the sleepfoundation.org confirms that studies have shown lavender oil to be an effective sedative that increases the deep wave sleep patterns as it promotes low frequency brainwaves such as theta and delta that promote a good night's sleep with reduced nighttime waking. And we all know that actually sleep itself is a big route to healing. So if we can get a good night's sleep, we're actually also not only helping ourselves to feel better, but we're helping our body to start to heal itself through that restorative sleep. Anxiety, stress, and depression is something that I have seen a huge rise in over the past few years since COVID, I have to say. PubMed again confirms that lavender, yet again, scores really highly as the oil of choice due to its calming effects without the side effects that a lot of pharmaceutical drugs can give. Lavender is rich in linalool and linalool acetate, which are two monoterpenoids, and these are components that determine antidepressant effects. And this came from a 20-year study. This isn't just a 1 week, 10 people study. This took them 20 years to determine all of this. There are actually several plants that have compounds with proven antidepressant activities within them. And these include chamomile, rosemary, and sweet orange that were all confirmed by the same study. Now, we also have boosting metabolism. We all know that as we get older, our metabolism can take a nosedive. But on top of that, obviously, poor lifestyle choices and the current modern day levels of stress can also massively impact metabolism. Now, mentha, also known more commonly as menthol, contains 3 compounds that stimulate receptors to increase energy expenditure and also thermogenesis, and also help reduce appetite, food sugary cravings particularly, and the release of ghrelin, which is obviously one of our hunger hormones. So we want leptin to stay high, but we want ghrelin to stay low, which is why strength training is good, because it naturally helps with that. But obviously not everyone has access to that, and for whatever reason with their health, obviously not everyone is able to do that. So actually using these oils is a really good way of helping with that. Ginger is also beneficial in protecting against metabolic disorders, and cinnamon has also been really well researched over the years and now proven to help stabilize and balance blood sugars and benefit those with insulin sensitivity. It's also therefore beneficial for those who are pre-diabetic and those struggling to maintain a healthy weight, including menopausal weight. Menopause and hormonal balance is a whole subject on itself, I'll be honest. If any of you want to know specifically more on this, I think I'm going to put together an actual menopause focused online class. It will be free, as tonight's session is, but there really is so much to talk about. But the way that we work in doTERRA with helping people through the menopause is looking at 4-stage support. So we look at mood stabilization using the oils. We look at sleep improvement, stress reduction, which can play havoc with the hormonal pathways, and also obviously managing symptoms such as the hot flushes and so on, and joint aches and pains as well. There is a doTERRA product that's called phytoestrogen complex. It is one of their absolute bestsellers. I'm not going to go into detail on this call today because I really want to focus on the oils, but just to say it is so popular. I'm not on it myself, but I have customers and clients who are, and it's really helped them. And it's a tablet form that includes the oils in it, but it also has other compounds and plant-based phytoestrogens to help balance estrogen. Now, when I say balance, I mean it helps to either increase or decrease depending on what's needed, which is really important. You don't want to be taking something if it's contributing the wrong way to what you actually need. So I think that's why it is just so effective for people and they really feel the difference. And it really helps to ease symptoms of menopause, but also PMS as well, and perimenopause too. Now, I love this picture. I absolutely love it because for me, it sums up how natural and magical these oils actually are. I've already explained the science. And for those of you that love data and facts and figures, I hope you found that really interesting. But now I'm just going to have a moment to weave together the science and the spirit. Because I know some of you here, like myself, are energy healers and work with energy a lot day to day in life, also with your work. And this is where I get really excited because the vibrational frequency of these oils is so pure and so high. The energy of them is unlike anything I've ever used. So I've written something out and I'm going to read it word for word because each word is carefully chosen to explain how I feel about these oils from a spiritual side. In the mystical realm where science meets spirit, pure essential oils emerge as nature's most potent vibrational treasures. These liquid gems, distilled from the very essence of plants, carry the concentrated life force and energetic signature of their botanical origins. Like tiny bottles of captured sunlight and earth magic, they vibrate at frequencies that dance in harmony with our own energetical being. When plants photosynthesize, they're essentially transforming light into matter, a process so magical it borders on alchemy. Essential oils, being the purest essence of this transformation, retain these high frequency vibrations. Think of them as nature's tuning forks, helping to recalibrate our body's energy centers and restore harmonic balance to our physical and emotional well-being. The human body, composed of trillions of cells vibrating in their own unique symphony, responds beautifully to these plant allies. High vibrational oils can help elevate our own frequency, supporting everything from immune function to emotional clarity. They're like energetic vitamins, nourishing us on levels both seen and unseen. Among the most luminous of these botanical treasures are beautiful rose, often called the Queen of Oils, vibrating at an astounding 320 megahertz, opening the heart chakra, promoting love and emotional healing. Frankincense, the sacred king of oils, at 147 megahertz, revered for its ability to connect us to higher consciousness and support cellular regeneration. Lavender, nature's gentle peacekeeper at 118 megahertz, weaves tranquility through our nervous system. And helichrysum, the golden healer, known as liquid stitches, is vibrating around 181 megahertz, renowned for its regenerative properties. These oils are truly gifts of the earth, helping us to harmonize our earthly and spiritual selves. They are aromatic ambassadors from the plant kingdom, reminding us that healing can be as simple as breathing in nature's wisdom, allowing their high frequency to work its gentle magic through the very core of our being, bringing us back home not only to nature, but reconnecting us back to the very essence of who we truly are. I love that. And that for me is probably the biggest reason why I love them. Okay, so let's go through all the different ways that you can use these. I'll just do a quick time check. Oh, we're doing well, actually. This is why I have to have notes, because quite honestly, I could still be talking to you about these at midnight tonight, and I think you've probably all got other things to do this evening. So let's talk about how to use these oils. So aromatically is probably the way most people think about using essential oils. This obviously means the way that you inhale the aroma. Now, research has proven that when you inhale the aroma, it travels up your nose, sends direct messages to the limbic part of your brain, which is where your emotions lie, which is why we can instantly affect our mood in this way. We're triggering the chemistry in the brain, and it's why the oils can be used so quickly and successfully to shift our moods. Can also retrain our brains. So when we smell a new aroma, we're retraining it. I use it quite a lot with my clients for anchoring. So if they're struggling with something, we use the oil to anchor. And then if they feel anxious or tense about something, they can use the scent to actually anchor and bring them back to themselves and to the present moment. So rewiring the chemistry, we associate smell with a happy emotion and a happy thought. It's a little bit like NLP. Plus, EEG studies have shown that exposure to different scents can change physiology and also our behavior due to its intrinsic ability to interact and affect the central nervous system. So this is huge. This is just from the scent of these oils. We haven't even got into anything else yet, but they really are so powerful. You can diffuse them in the air as well. So if you have a diffuser, that works really nicely. It's a cold water diffuser, so it doesn't overheat the oils. Because we don't want to heat the oils, because otherwise you will destroy the therapeutic benefits. So it's always really important to use a cold water or gentle warming methods rather than hot heat. We then have topically. Now, this is where it starts to get really exciting. This obviously means applying it to the skin, which again makes perfect sense. And it will act in a localized way. So if you had a sore shoulder, there's an oil that I'll go through in a moment. That's particularly really good for sore joints and muscles. So you could just apply it to that sore point, and it'll have a nice localized effect. But they also work systemically. So when you apply the oils to the skin, it will penetrate through the skin into the blood system and ultimately into the cells and into the whole body, which is why we do suggest dilution depending on what oil condition we're working with, and obviously depending on the age and the health of the person that we're working on as well. So just following guidelines, but all of that is provided by doTERRA. So the soles of the feet are probably one of the easiest and best ways to do this, partly because everybody just loves having oils massaged into the feet, unless they have particularly tickly feet. But the pores are larger, the skin is normally thicker and less sensitive. So if you have particularly sensitive skin, it's a really nice way. Because when you apply the essential oil to the soles of the feet, it gets into the bloodstream within 20 seconds, very powerful, and around every cell of the body in 20 minutes. So again, this is why we need pure oils. Dilution, by the way, would be fractionated coconut oil we use. And again, it's tested to the same CPTG standards. So we know it's pure, there's no pesticides, no chemicals or anything like that. Then moving on to internally, we are all adults. I'm sure none of you are going to go and reach for your lavender oil or lemon oil and start taking it internally, because you know you can't. But with doTERRA, I mentioned we have food grade oils. I'm going to talk through some of them more specifically in a moment, but some of my favorites: ginger, absolutely love it. Even vanilla, absolutely just divine. And in this hot weather, I've been loving lime oil as well. In a drop of that in some sparkling water has been so refreshing. Now, the oils will say whether they are food grade or not, because obviously not all of them can be taken internally. But for example, the difference here is where we can access plant compounds that maybe we can't do through food is the example of grapefruit. We've probably all heard that if you're on blood pressure tablets, then you shouldn't eat grapefruit or ingest lots of grapefruit juice, because it can interact with the meds. But this isn't the case with the grapefruit oil, because the bioflavonoids from the flesh and the juice, they've obviously been extracted and taken out. So it's not going to cause a problem creating with the body creating the enzymes still that it needs. So it's really good grapefruit for managing food cravings and food addictions. I've had a lot of success with clients with that one. Lemon oil as well is another example how the oil differs from the fruit, because obviously if we have lemon juice or a slice of lemon in our water, it is lovely, it is healthy, it is refreshing, but obviously it can affect tooth enamel, whereas the oil is non-acidic, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, there are some hot oils. Oregano is incredible. I will come on to that in a minute. But that is called a hot oil, as is cinnamon, which is also beautiful, but very hot. You would not want to take that internally, not even with water. You would want to take it in a veg capsule. And the veg capsules doTERRA provide, they simply just open out, you put as many drops as your protocol states into it, you put the capsule on and you just take it. They're vegan, there's nothing nasty in these capsules, they literally are made of vegetable matter. So it's really easy for you to take the hot oils as well. You can add to water, to food, to raw chocolate. How delicious. And you can therefore consume them really easily as part of your everyday habits without having to think about taking tablets. I'm not a big fan of taking tablets. I never have been. I struggle to swallow them, and I just don't like the process. And so supplements sometimes, can feel really it's a bit of a chore to take them, but actually the benefits that you get from using these oils, and it's so enjoyable to use them as well, it's just a really lovely way to get what your body needs. So just coming on to a couple of safety guidelines, I have to say they are safe, gentle, powerful. Keep out of eyes, ears and nose. Be careful when using an oil topically not to rub your eyes after use. I have done it with peppermint oil and it was not a nice experience. If you do get it in the eyes, you wipe off with oil, not water, because remember, these are oil based, and that's how you're going to get rid of that. Listen to your body. If you don't want to take them internally, you don't have to. There's so many other ways that you can benefit from them just as well. It's listening to what your body needs and what feels right for you. And then you'll learn as you go along, and your confidence in the oils will grow as well. So there are over 200 oils and blends available. So we would be here till midnight, so we're not going to go through all of those. And it can feel really overwhelming to start with. I remember all those years ago when I first started, I was like, where do I start? What do I do? What do I begin with? So to make it a little easier, I've put together just some information on the top 10 oils that I believe, and doTERRA also agree, because they are the top 10 selling oils, that everybody needs in their life and will help with so many different ways to support their health and well-being on a cellular level. If you have a specific health challenge that you would like to address with the oils, please do speak to me afterwards, or private message me, and I'll be really happy to share the oils and a protocol that I think would be best for that particular condition. But these 10 oils are so versatile. There's 6 single oils and 4 blends, so we'll get stuck in now. You can all read, hopefully, the presentation. So I'm not going to read everything word for word, because you can probably read that yourself in a moment. But just to give you a few pointers on lemon oil, it is very cleansing and purifying. And because it's from the rind of the fruit, as I said, it's obviously non-acidic. And you've also got around the oil from the rind of 45 lemons in one small bottle. So it's very potent, and it's a really cost-effective way of getting the health benefits when you think that a good lemon nowadays will set you back 40 to 50p, and yet one drop of lemon oil is 5p. So it makes it so much easier in the morning when I have my ACV vinegar in my warm water and one drop of lemon oil, and I'm done. And I haven't got to be there slicing up lemon at 5 a.m. in the morning. Plus, it doesn't get moldy, it doesn't go off, and it takes up less space in your kitchen. So it's a really, really lovely one. You can also use it as a cleaner, which is what I love. It's food grade. You can take it internally, but it's also so effective as a natural cleaner. So again, instead of having to buy multiple different natural products, you can use these oils in multiple ways. You would literally just get a long life glass bottle. You'd put a few drops in with some distilled water or some, filtered water, and you're literally ready to go. That's all you need to do. Now, it's a really good one for hormones. So definitely recommend lemon oil. It helps to flush out hormones in the body that we don't need, that are actually unbalancing us. So it's a lovely one. I have also taken time to just write a little note on each of the oils for their spiritual properties, because I know a lot of you here, like me, are really interested in that. So the spiritual properties of lemon oil is associated with the solar plexus chakra, the center of will and self-image, to radiate confidence and power. Connected to the sun, it can be a source of creative energy to initiate new projects and also guide us during meditation. So we're going to move on in complete contrast to peppermint oil, which is cool and invigorating. Now, this is a lovely oil. I used it the other day. I had a really bad headache, and I got it with some lavender oil, put it on the back of my neck, and within 20 minutes it had gone. It's perfect. And it actually woke me up as well. So that was lovely. So many different ways to use this. The really yummy way I like is actually in my raw chocolate, which is lovely. But it's actually very good for stopping sugar cravings in particular. So if you find that in the afternoon you get tired, but you also start to crave those sugary foods, if you imagine, if you just brushed your teeth with pepperminty toothpaste, you probably wouldn't want to eat straight after that. So it kind of works in a similar way, but way more powerful. Remember, the one drop is the equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea. So I'll often just put one drop in my water, and it energizes me and keeps me away from those afternoon snacks as well. It's also known as one of the allergy trio oils, which is lemon, peppermint, and lavender, which is really good for seasonal allergies such as hay fever. So you can rub it onto the soles of your feet or add it into a rollerball, and that's a nice non-drowsy natural support. The spiritual properties of peppermint, it has a cooling aroma to literally help keep a clear mind. It can help clear the air of lingering emotions, cuts through irrational fears and attachments. It's also a good oil for seeking direction and clarity on decisions. And it lifts the spirit and awakens energy, opening intuition and expanded awareness as well. So really good one. Lavender, as we all know, is calming. I have to say, I didn't like lavender for years until I did smell the doTERRA one. I always found them really musty and not a particularly nice smell, and just yeah, maybe it was just a memory associated for me, but I do really find the doTERRA lavender really calming and soothing. It is the most widely used essential oil in the world, and it's obviously known to be calming, relaxing, and, as I've already mentioned, a really good sedative as well. It's a really good combination to use lavender and tea tree oil to help with earaches in children. Obviously, you wouldn't put anything in the ear, but you can just massage it around at the back and at the front. And that's really soothing, and also helps them to go back to sleep as well, because it's so calming. So that's a lovely one. Lavender, the spiritual properties are really lovely. It's got the power to ward off invisible low energies, and is often burnt for protection at the summer solstice. Perfect for purification, protection, and healing rituals. It's got superior balancing qualities, making it ideal for chakra balancing if you're working with any clients to balance their chakras. And it's also linked to the crown chakra as well. And so it's also used in many cultures to help enhance spiritual growth and dream work as well. Okay, moving on to tree oil, which was called Melaleuca, and I still call it Melaleuca. I can't get used to calling it tea tree, even though most people know it as that. Obviously, this one is also like lavender. It's very well known, to be honest with you. You've probably heard of it all before and probably used it before. I wasn't aware years ago that it has 92 different compounds in it, which makes it so versatile for so many different things. Obviously, Aboriginal people used to use the big leaves to help cool their skin, and that's where it all kind of stems from, really. It used to be a really good one for me when my daughter was really young, and we got told that they'd got nits and head lice at school, which nobody likes, obviously. So it's a really nice, natural, chemical-free way. I just used to add it in with some lavender and peppermint as well into her normal shampoo, and I just used to use that all the time, and it just made sure that she didn't get anything. Spiritual properties are interesting. It can help clear energy blockages and provide protection both physically and spiritually. Often used in healing rituals and in sick rooms to help purify and cleanse the air. And it can really invoke a sense of vitality and also enhance spiritual connection too. So it's a lovely one. Oregano oil. Wow, it's a real powerhouse, this one. Yeah, this one is so interesting because it's called nature's penicillin. That's how we all refer to it in doTERRA. It can help with pain in the body. You can pop 3 drops. This is a hot oil, so you wouldn't really want to. You can add it into sauces, into food dressings. I use it in salad dressings all the time because you're mixing it in with an oil, so it's fine. It dilutes down, but you wouldn't want to just take this internally. But if you popped 3 drops into a veg capsule, it's a natural painkiller and it's very effective. It's also used in our gut health protocols. So if anyone's on the call today and really interested in gut health, this is definitely one of the oils that I would be recommending for you. Spiritual properties, it's medieval herbalists have always held this oil in high esteem, and quite rightly so. One of the most popular and potent protective oils. It's a good oil to cleanse ritual tools and ceremonial spaces and to protect from negativity. Enhances intuition and psychic powers, but actually more than that, it's believed to be the oil to work with to teach non-attachment to the ego and false sense self-identities created, which I think is really interesting. So it's definitely a really good spiritual oil as well. Deep Blue is one of the blends. It's a patented blend that doTERRA do, and it is very popular. This is the oil that I may have mentioned to some of you, that my mom had a best friend. She was in her 60s, so she wasn't that old, but she was struggling to write. She used to write a lot, and she was struggling to write because the arthritis in her hands was so bad. And mom happened to mention it, and so I gave her some Deep Blue to try. And I had a lovely letter back saying thank you so much. After a couple of days, she applied it every morning, waited half an hour, and she really got enough dexterity back in her hands to actually be able to use them again and to be able to write again. So this is a really lovely one that I love sharing with people. You can not take this internally. It has a special cap on it, which is a child-proof cap, to be absolutely sure that you would not take that internally. You can rub it on your tummy as well when you have PMT. I use this all the time. Obviously, backache. It's also good for temples to ease tension, headache, and it's great for deep therapeutic massages as well. Air oil I use almost every night. I love it. It's like a natural alternative to the Vicks Vapor Rub, but obviously not with all the added petroleum and things like that they put into it, which is obviously a chemical we don't necessarily want on our skins. So you can apply it to the chest with a carrier oil. I have to say I just do it neat, but I have been using it for years, so I know I'm okay with that. It's a really good oil as well for seasonal allergies where you've got a problem with your respiratory and your airways feel blocked. And actually, if you mix it with lavender, it's a really nice combination with sleep. You can also use on the go. They do roller balls. This is an adaptive one, but they do something like this for air oil. So it's already pre-diluted. They do it with Melaleuca. They do it with On Guard. They do it with most of their oils and blends. So actually, you don't have to worry about diluting it if you want to take it out and about with you. There is no spiritual property of that because there are so many oils in it. I wouldn't know where to start, to be honest with you. Breathe Zengest. Okay, this one here. Have to just very quickly tell you, I went skiing last year with a group of friends. We go every year. And on the way back, they all wanted a Burger King. We just had a massive breakfast at the hotel. They all wanted a Burger King, and I thought, I'm not having that. I was boring, and I went and got my salad, but I enjoyed my salad. Anyway, Sarah had her Burger King, and she sat there and she said, I really wish I hadn't eaten that. I'm so full. I feel so ill now. So I've got some Zengest. She was. She said, what on earth is that? I told her, and she said, what do I do with it? I said, you can either put it in the oil, in your water, or just pop a drop on the back of your hand, just lick it and then drink the oil. She said, I'll do that. She did it. Within 10 minutes, she came over to me while I was paying for sushi. She went, oh my God, I feel so much better. She said, I can't believe it. What is it? And so she ended up becoming a doTERRA customer from that experience because she fell in love with it. And even her husband now, who came skiing with us in March and Sarah couldn't come, we went for this meal and the guys ate way too much food because the food was so good. And we got back to the hotel and Sarah's husband, Carl, went, oh, you got any Zengest? I was like, this Zengest is becoming very well known. So it's a really, really good one. So you might even get the guys to use this one. You can take before or after heavy meals to help with digestion and also just generally metabolizing your food if you're really struggling. You can also rub it on your stomach to ease nausea and motion sickness. And it really does help to bring the digestive system back into balance, whether you're struggling with acid reflux, indigestion, bloating, or wind. It just seems to cover it all. It's very, very effective. Even just inhaling the aroma will help your body to digest the food. I didn't believe that when I read it, but it's true. Okay, so On Guard is the last blend oil we're going to talk through. This is a natural defense, and quite honestly, it just smells like Christmas in a bottle. It's amazing. It's got orange and it's got cinnamon and just all those beautiful things. And it's very apt that it smells like Christmas because quite honestly, during the winter months, this is my go-to oil. I use it all the time. It is a food grade oil as well as being able to use it topically and aromatically. So I make immune boosting raw chocolate to eat at Christmas, which is great using this. But you can also diffuse it in your house during flu season to help reduce environmental threats. You can dilute it in your long life glass bottle, use it as a spray on door handles. I use it on my phone as well, because our phones get so dirty, don't they, when we're out and about with them. I just cleanse everything down with it. It's absolutely brilliant, and it's even started to be used in schools and hospitals. So I think that really is testament to how incredible this natural blend is. You can also dilute it and gargle with it morning and night as a protective mouth rinse, and help with obviously keeping away sore throats and helping with sore throats as well. So the last oil is, oh my goodness, had to say the best until last. I think we've all heard of frankincense oil. We've definitely all heard of frankincense, thanks to a certain person that was born. Very potent, very precious. This is an oil that I work with a lot. It really is the king of oils. I absolutely love it. It's such a powerful cellular support. If you go into PubMed and you just literally type in frankincense cellular healing, you'll be amazed at the studies that come up on this and the healing capacities of this oil. It's very calming. So I use it if I'm doing meditation and I'm really struggling to cut that mind chatter and I've got a lot of things whirling around. I do take it a drop under my tongue, but obviously not everybody would necessarily want to do that. You could put some onto your third eye. It really helps to ground you as well. And of course, it is the perfect oil for helping with blemishes and aging skin and wrinkles. So it's lovely to add a drop to your night cream. It's really lovely, smooths out fine lines and wrinkles. So the spiritual properties, well, you can imagine this had quite a lot to say. I couldn't decide what to put. It is a very sacred oil indeed. It symbolizes the presence of the divine. It's often used in ceremonies and rituals because it's one of the highest vibration oils, as I talked about earlier, and it attunes the mind to the highest spiritual vibrations, opens the heart chakra whilst also connecting us to the earth, helping to ground and connect. It's obviously very good for our base, our root chakra, for calm, strength, stability, and protection. It's also effective in helping to release and heal from past traumas. I've used it a number of times in that way, and also to facilitate spiritual awakening as well. So if you have enjoyed tonight's class, I have lots of other things in the pipeline over the coming 6 months. There are, well, I think there's 5 months left of the year now, crikey. The Reducing Toxic Load Online class again, and the Natural Household Cleaning are both online classes, and they will be free to attend as well. Then the face-to-face in person, we have the Foundational Wellness Cookery Workshop, which I know a number of you are booked onto, which I'm so excited to go through with you. I go into a lot more detail about using food and food grade oils to support the body at a cellular level, and why that's important and how that works. We also have a natural scent and perfume workshop, which is fast selling out. So that was a popular one. And also natural beauty and skincare, because you can use these oils in so many ways. I've got multiple workshops because there's too much to cover in one thing. Now, talking about the membership and the oils, we have 3 options, none of which you have to take up. I hope if you have enjoyed the session today, you will at least share what you have learned with others. And if they would like to learn more, please do ask them to get in touch with me, or please do pass on my details. There is absolutely no obligation to buy. Now, the first way that we like to encourage people to start is with a starter kit. Now, this one is a lovely kit because it's got all of those 10 oils, but they're at 5 ml. So actually it makes it a really cost-effective way of buying it, because if you were to buy a bigger bottle of frankincense, that alone would be around £60. Okay, so you can purchase all the oils individually. I can send you the link to the website. You don't have to buy a kit, but please only buy either through myself or through the link that I send to you, because, or another wellness advocate if you do know one, but I'd love you to buy through me so I can support you through your health journey. But we need to make sure that the oils you get are authentic. And I say this because we have had issues with customers buying things on Etsy and places like that. We cannot guarantee the purity and the authenticity of these oils. And if you are going to use them as food grade, you want to be absolutely sure they are authentic doTERRA oils. So you can buy them retail price. I do not recommend it. There is no point, to be honest with you, because it is far more cost effective to get a doTERRA membership, and then you will get a 25% discount, and that discount applies the moment you actually buy something. So it's not that you have to pay retail price and then you start getting the discount. You get it straight away. So the membership costs just £24 for the year. There is no minimum spend, no minimum monthly spend at all. You can order as and when you want. So don't think, oh, great, but now I've got to spend £100 a month on oils. You haven't. It's £24. The account is yours. You order what you want when you like, and you get 25% discount off all the oils. So you can do that, and you can pick and choose your oils. But what doTERRA have done is they appreciate that most people will want these top 10 oils, which is why they've put it into this kit, because it makes it a cost-effective way to get all 10 oils without having to buy the 15ml bottles, which they would normally be at a higher price. You can then also see which oils do I really use a lot of, and perhaps which ones not so much. And then you can just re-top up with 1 or 2 oils when you need them once you've run out. So this has all of those oils that I've just explained and talked through. There is an opportunity to earn loyalty reward points, a bit like a Tesco club card, and then you do get free oils, just like you get vouchers for Tesco. If you sign up to become a doTERRA customer and member, you will receive a complimentary 60-minute wellness consultation and review with myself, as well as a 20-minute follow-up, which helps you to integrate the oils into your personal protocol. And that is something that doTERRA insists that as a wellness advocate, we must do, because they are so keen for everyone to have the learning and the education piece that goes alongside these oils. And that in itself is worth nearly £100. You will also get access to Oil Camp, which is amazing. It's a 7-day free guide to everything I've talked about and way, way more. We go through recipes, we go through skincare product recipes, we go through different sprays you can make, we go through different topics. So that's really good. And you also have access to the worldwide wellness community, which, as I discussed before, it's full of midwives and doctors and chiropractors and energy healers and so many like-minded people who are interested in natural health and well-being. So the second option is 15ml bottle oils. You get 3 times the amount of oils, but it's not 3 times the price. It's less than 2. And you also get the cold mist diffuser as well. You will also obviously get your wholesale account with 25% discount. And again, all the other things that I've just explained, you will also receive. So the first one was retail £208, but you would get it at £156.50 because that discount kicks in straight away. Second home essentials kit would be £371, but it's £278 with the discount. And then the third option is the one that I've already talked about briefly. Now, you can open just the account and order whatever oils that you would like, and I can help you decide which oils you would like. And I'll be honest, this is how I did start. I was very specific on the oils I wanted. I knew what I wanted to achieve from it. I knew the oils I was drawn to. So I didn't want the starter kit, even though it would have been more cost effective in the long run because I now have over 300 oils. But it's a really nice way to start. You can pick and choose whichever oils that you would like. If you would like to smell more of them and see which ones you're attracted to, you're always welcome to arrange to come to my home for a 30-minute session where you can see all of my oils. I have pretty much most of them, and you can obviously just see how you feel with those. Now, if you do spend over 150 PV on that first order, you would get the £24 membership for free. So you wouldn't actually pay the £24 membership. You could just spend all of your money on the oils. But obviously you may not want to, you might just want to buy one or two. And therefore, if you only want to buy one or two oils, then it probably works out more cost effective to pay the £24 membership and just buy the one or two oils. But there is a saving to be made there. And I think it is a really good thing that doTERRA have brought in the last 12 months, actually, that didn't used to be available. And I'm glad that they've brought it in because I think it's important that you get that choice. Now, just to finish, if you've enjoyed this evening and you enjoy the oils, you might have already experienced them. Becky, I know you really love them. Do you know other people who might also like to learn about them? Me and my oils travel all over the country. If you would like to host an event, it might be included within a wellness event that you're putting on for your clients, or it might just be a nice get together with like-minded friends and family at home. I don't charge. I come and take people through a similar session to what we've done tonight, but obviously with the oils face to face, so people get to actually see them and sample them and enjoy them there and then. So if you're interested in that, please do let me know and we can have a chat. And also, I will bring my raw chocolate with me, which always goes down really, really well. People always love that. So that really is it now. I have said everything I wanted to share with you this evening, and I hope that it's inspired you to look towards nature in supporting not only yours, but your family's health and well-being as well. And if there is any more information you would like, please do ask. It's a topic, as you can tell, I could talk for hours on. I will unmute you all now. Oh, I might have to ask you to. Can I unmute you? Oh, no, I'll ask you to unmute. For some reason I can mute you all, but I can't unmute you all. Are we all back?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Let me just stop the screen share. So has anybody got any questions or anything they would like more information on? I will contact each of you privately anyway, if there's anything you wanted to discuss, but not obviously in a group. That will be fine. You'll have your opportunity and you will obviously all have chance to tell me which of those 10 oils you would like to try a sample of, and I'll make sure I get that sent out to you.
When you did that beautiful script, when you were talking about the spiritual, like what it meant to you, you said there was rose, frankincense, lavender, and I didn't get the last one.
Helichrysum.
Oh, I didn't either.
Right.
It's
Okay.
just, oh, it's I kind of call it immortel. It's just like an immortal oil. It's so amazing. If you've got any slight cuts or open wounds at all, it is literally liquid stitches, and it's great for bruising as well.
Brilliant.
What was it called again, Kate?
It's Helichrysum, Helichrysum. Rysum, I think it is. I
It's
can write it
SU,
better than I can spell it.
helichrysum.
Mm, it's
And it was for what?
beautiful.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
It's liquid stitches.
Liquid
So it's,
stitches.
yeah, it's just perfect. My 18-year-old daughter, bless her, managed to sit on her hair straighteners, and which is obviously very painful. And I used helichrysum on it. And it just within 24 hours it was so much better. Yeah, it really helped.
Oh, brilliant.
Is it
Okay.
like a skin, like a wound healer?
Yes, wound healer, bruise healer. It's beautiful. And yeah, it's also used in anti-aging products, but not that many, because it's it's a very special oil. You don't want to use loads and loads of it. It's similar kind of ballpark to a frankincense oil. But again, these oils, 15 ml bottle with 250 or 260 drops, you only need one drop at a time. They do last a long time.
Would you right.
Fabulous.
Or not?
Oh, sorry, I can't hear you, Fiona, very well. Let me turn up my mic. Hang on 2 seconds.
Is it me?
No, it might well be me. There we go.
No, I'm only just wondering, that oil, would you have to mix it with anything else, or would you just put it on direct?
The helichrysum.
Yeah.
So the helichrysum oil, I personally would use neat, but I've been using the oils for a long time and I know my body's fine. I've never, ever, ever had any adverse reactions to any of the oils that I've used. If you were using it topically for the first time with someone, I would say use the CPTG fractionated coconut oil. You get a huge bottle of it, it's about this big. And you know that it's pure, no chemicals, so it's not going to negatively impact the therapeutic benefits of the helichrysum oil or any other oils that you put with it. They make sure there's no fungus, there's no mold in it. It's really pure.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
I'm only wondering about that oil because my father, because he's on, is it blood thinning tablets? He's always bruising himself, cutting himself, literally on the edge of the cupboard, and he's literally just covered in them now on his arms.
Okay. Well, I can certainly look into that for you and see if that would be the best oil, or whether there might even be something that he could take more proactively to actually stop that even happening, which I think would be better. Which would be better. So as I say, I've got access to lots of doctors and nurses to ask those kind of questions for you. So I know that I'm giving you the best advice and best information. So let me make a note of that now, so I can get back to you on that one, Fiona. Okay, anything else?
Okay, do you know, I know a lot of, with regards to what you diffuse in oils when you've got animals in the house. I know a lot of oils, they say, can be quite toxic to animals. Does this still apply with the doTERRA oils?
We would definitely be able to give you a definitive list of which oils are safe and which oils aren't. There are still some very much apply. I'm sure we have a recording somewhere that I could send over to you on using oils specifically for pets and animals. I know lots of
that would be great.
Yeah, I know lots of people in the community, absolutely love their animals and work with animals and use the oils with them. So yes, I'll make a note of that one for you, Karen, and I'll let you know.
Brilliant, that's fantastic, thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
No.
Okay. I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And
It was lovely. It was brilliant.
oh, thank
Really
you.
good, Kate. Thank you. Yeah, really good.
Really pleased you enjoyed it. I hope it gave you a very different perspective
Oh.
on oils. And yes, so for so many years I just thought essential oils were just something you smelled, and actually, you know, these oils are very, very different. And they're just beautiful to work with. So when you get your samples, you'll be able to tell for yourself. So yes, I will contact you all individually, and I'll probably give you an evening to think about it and sleep on it. And I'll contact you all tomorrow to see what you're drawn towards. But as I say, if there is anything in particular, then obviously I'd be happy to advise you on which of the oils would be best for that. But if one's leapt out at you this evening from what I've told you about them, then obviously I can get one sent over to you. Have a lovely evening, and I'll speak to you all soon.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye, Karen. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye, Ben.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everyone.